Well, what a way to start off these World Championships. Of course, Summer McIntosh coming in with the weight of the world and expectations, and she prevails tonight. A gold medal in the women's 400 freestyle. We are taking you inside the ready room. We're going to chat all about it. Brittany, MacLean, Campbell here alongside Devin, Heroux, poolside in Singapore. Devin, gut check. How are you feeling? How are you doing?
Well, let me tell you, I always love hearing "Oh, Canada" inside the championship pool. And on opening night, we got to hear it, Britt. Yes, you said it. You set it up wonderfully. The weight of the world on her shoulders, and you and I have talked so much about it. You know, if there was one thing you could nitpick at in her incredible career to this point, it was that 400-meter freestyle, Britt. And I think she was getting tired of talking about the fact that she hadn't won gold in this event yet. And so she was just in complete control tonight. It was a beautiful race. You'll know more than I will in breaking it down and the analysis. But, yeah, she was on cruise control, Britt, and it was beautiful to watch. 3:56.26, the third fastest time in her life.
Honestly, Devin, at the 200-meter mark, it almost looked like I talk about the weight of expectation, and you think of that metaphorically, but I also think of it physically. And sometimes when you come into a meet and it's your first event, first final, no matter who you are or what expectations on you, it takes a little bit to get into the groove of a meet. And halfway through that race, to me, Summer's stroke looked a little bit tense. And then all of a sudden, I think in the second half, she really picked up the speed. I think she built in the fact of, okay, I know what I'm doing here. I have a race plan, I have a strategy, and I want to execute it. And I actually said, Anastasia Busis was in the office earlier, and I said to her, and she completely agreed. That was a race for an athlete that wants to win 5 gold medals. That was not a race for an athlete that's going after a world record time. That was a strategic race for somebody that wanted to get in there, swim a strong performance. She was confidently in control, but she also understood that there was, more racing ahead of her, and there was another race only 20 minutes later.
It was wild, and what a great analysis from you, because it was wild to watch her quickly take a glimpse at the scoreboard, got the win, got the gold medal, and then jumped out of the pool, Britt, as fast as she possibly could, ran off the pool deck, and mentally reset for that 200-meter individual medley semifinal, which was about 20 minutes after that freestyle victory. So you're bang on. It was about touching the wall first. She did that. Energy conservation is going to be key. And I think you're absolutely right sort of about those nerves in the first part of the race, because I felt it at the pool in the heats here this morning that this was a little different for her, this tough double, this 5 individual events. It's all new territory. And she answered the question like she always does. It was a really great opening night for Summer.
Yeah, well, let's hear what she had to say with you after the race.
It's amazing. I mean, day one is probably my biggest day in this entire meet, and I've never done a double like that before, so overall really happy with the result. My goal in the 400 freestyle was just to get my hand on the wall first, and then as soon as I touched the wall, I barely looked at my time, and then I literally ran off, warmed down, and got ready for the 200 IM. So overall happy with the double and excited for tomorrow night.
Coming into this, you said maybe in past events you couldn't always trust your freestyle, that maybe you didn't have full confidence. What should we learn about this performance going forward for the rest of the meet?
Oh yeah, that 400 freestyle, I was so in control that entire race and super strong and long. And overall, it just felt like I had my complete endurance, so I'm really excited for the 800 freestyle later on in the meet. But really, honestly, I'm just trying to take it one race at a time and day by day.
Devin, she's already teasing the 800 freestyle. You know we love to hear it. We cannot wait. This is the check of the box that Summer McIntosh needed. And don't think I forgot, we have an envelope to open. So if you're watching our preview show, Devin and I guessed, and by the way, still sealed, so I'm just making sure you all know back at home. I think it's confident to say Devin and I were very excited about the potential of a world record here. I haven't seen them, but I'm just going to preface with that because I have a feeling based on the way we were talking. Now, give us cut us some slack. I did see some jargon online. I will admit that people were saying, the Canadian media claimed she wasn't tapered for trials, all this stuff, which was true. Devin, were we not at her practice a week before trials where she did like 7 kilometers of training, right?
She was not tapered.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
But let's understand this too. She's 18 years old. When she swims, at any point, if you get the right zip, you're feeling good in your stroke, you can drop a fast time. Katie Ledecky at 28 years old broke the world record in the 800 free in season without a taper. So things happen. Pressure does challenge others to get to best times. We thought we might see some best times here. So let's open up our envelope. Devin Heroux with our blue time. Devin's guess, 400 freestyle, 3:53.79 is Devin's guess, okay?
Woo.
And
I was
my
excited.
guess,
I was feeling good.
I think my guess is very similar, Devin, if I'm honest. It is 3:53.89. So we're 1/10 of a second off. We're way off, by the way, but we're 1/10 of a second off each other. So, Devin, if we had one thing right, it was that we were on the same page. Okay, let's discuss that for a second because, yes, of course, she was 2 seconds over her world record time. The potential here, I don't think we factored in what the double would do. I factored in the double because, of course, the 200 IM was after the race. So in my head, I'm like, oh, it's after, it doesn't matter. But what I didn't think to factor in was the fact that she would have swam the prelim of the 400 free. And when she did the prelim at trials of the 400 free, she went a cruise 410. Here she had to try a little bit harder because she wanted one of the center lanes. Then she had a bit of a challenger on the last 50, so she wanted to even kind of contest, bring the legs in a bit. And then she goes and swims the prelim of a 200 IM. Those are things I didn't think about, Devin. We can cut our losses today. We're not on world record pace, but you know what? There's another chance for us tomorrow.
Yeah, we have 4 more chances.
Yes.
Thank goodness.
We're gonna lose our credibility.
You're bang on.
Yeah.
I know. We're okay. We just needed to get the double out of the way.
Yeah.
I think you're bang on. I think you're absolutely bang on with the fact that today, more than any other day of the World Championships, is going to be about load management, energy conservation. It's all she talked about today. She passed by me this morning. It's all she talked about. She was quick around the pool. I think today was all about winning the 400 free. Now she can breathe. Now she can be closer to the rest of our predictions the rest of the way.
Yeah, and we're going to end by quickly teeing up the 200 AM. But before we do that, I wanted to highlight a couple other Canadian performances so far tonight. We have Ilya Kharun, who unfortunately just missed the 50 fly semi. I think this is one of those heartbreaking finishes that really teaches you lessons in the sport. He's had a similar lesson back at Short Course Worlds where he also just missed a final. It was narrow 100ths of a second. His time was definitely quick. To go with 22 in the 50 fly and not make the World Championship final, that really tells us that these stroke 50s have elevated to another level. He was one of the favorites going into the race. And Devin, it seems like when he came through by the mix zone, he seemed visibly disappointed.
Yeah, and Britt, you and I have talked in the past about Ilya coming to these World Championship events, and I even talked to some of the Canadian coaching staff about sometimes Ilya has one race throughout the meet where I don't know if it's focus, I don't know if it's whatever it is, he just has one race where he's not totally sharp. I hate saying that because it was a great time. It was a great performance, and he's just going to miss out on the final. And who knows what he might have done had he made it into the final, but he was visibly gutted when I talked to him. Let's take a listen to my interview with Ilya.
I don't know. I thought everything was fine. Maybe a bit too rushed. I'm not quite sure, but there's really not much to say. Just gotta get. I guess I just gotta work onto the 2 fly. I don't know. Really not much to say.
You were feeling good coming into this, and how do you leave this behind you and just look forward now?
It'll be very hard. You know, I'm kind of disappointed in that, but I just need to keep moving forward, I guess. Have a positive mindset throughout these next days.
All right, Ilya, good luck the rest of the way.
Thanks so much.
Yeah, no matter how experienced these athletes are, they're constantly learning lessons. And I think tonight was a great example of learning lessons. Positives that I do want to pull from it, though, in that same semifinal, Josh Leando actually posted a best time. And I know we think of him as a butterflyer, but the 50's never really been something he's managed to put together perfectly. So very, very kind of confidence-building swim for Josh Leando. He comes back to the relay, splits one of the fastest in the field at a 47.0. That men's relay finished 8th. get some final experience. They're going to look to build on that. One highlight, Devin, before we do move on to look ahead to tomorrow, let's talk quickly about Ethan Eck. I mean, to me, that was one of the highlights. I know it came from the prelims, but when we're talking about Canadian performances that we should get excited about, Ethan Eck is top of the list. I want to read something for you. He entered trials just about 2 months ago in a 351. He then swam under 350 in Victoria to get under that Aqua A standard and qualify for this World Championship team. That time is a 349.57. Then in the first race of his first World Championships, he dropped 3.5 seconds to place 9th overall in a time of 3:46.01. Devin, how phenomenal was that?
I mean, I was stunned here. I'm right by the pool, as you can see, Britt, and he was on the outside lane right close to us, and I'm going, what is happening right in front of me? I think I was still waking up because it was the first event of the World Championships early here, and that got me going, and I think it got a lot of Canadian swim fans going, including you. A spectacular performance. It's all any of the coaches wanted to talk about when we had our pre-finals chat here. They were so excited for him. He has so much in front of him, including the 200-meter backstroke, which I know people are excited about for Ethan, but outstanding. And this is what these moments are all about. I don't have to tell you this, Britt, because you've been there, done it. But these World Championships, obviously for Ilya, it can be a little bitter sometimes. And then for somebody like Ethan today, it can be ecstasy. And so he'll build on that. The Canadians will build on the opening day. And all in all, I think it's a good start for Canada here. Of course, Summer McIntosh, golden once again.
Yeah, that was exactly going to be my closing thought about Ethan. It truly is one of those swims that will motivate the entire team. That proves that even if you're going in, 30th, 35th, you have the chance to contest to try to get into finals. That's what it's all about. Improving upon the times you went at trials, posting lifetime best times, and then having opportunities set in front of you to maybe make those next barriers in the sport. And 3.5 seconds for anybody in a couple months is absurd, but phenomenal performance. He has a bright future ahead, as you mentioned. I do want to say, too, one of the storylines we're going to have to keep following, it is only night number 1, but the American team visibly struggling throughout these championships. It is only night number 1, but they left empty lanes this morning. Very quick to you, Devin. I wondered if you've been able to chat with anyone on the American team, whether it's staff or athletes, and get a bit of a gut check of how they're doing.
Well, it's been interesting because we've heard so much about this illness that ravaged the U.S. team as they were doing their staging camp in Thailand. And then, of course, everybody's jaw sort of hit the pool deck when they noticed Tori Husk, the Olympic champion in the 100-meter butterfly, scratching that event. And, of course, if you look at any social media posts from USA Swimming, it said that she was focusing on other races and whatnot. I know the journalists here on the ground, including NBC and other journalists, have been trying to confirm that it was indeed illness, what it was. We're hearing norovirus, perhaps, not food poisoning. We're hearing a lot of different things, Britt, but nothing official. I don't think they obviously want to be talking about any of those illnesses. But there is this feeling around the pool here in Singapore that the Americans are fighting it right now. And I think it's going to be really interesting over these next couple of days early in the meet to see if there are any other empty lanes and to see what type of performances the Americans will put forward. We know how much pride they have. We know how much they love going head-to-head with the Australians. And so right now, you got to feel after opening day they might be going, uh-oh. So we'll see what happens here, and I'll work to try and get some answers.
Yeah, no, that's great insight. No, Devin, we really appreciate it. I think the key there is, of course, we wish everyone well. We're hoping everyone gets healthy. We're definitely hoping this doesn't continue to spread. But on top of the world tonight on those last couple relays, Team Oz, I mean, winning the women's and then winning the men's with a closing speed of Kyle Chalmers, it was phenomenal. We're going to talk about tomorrow because we have some exceptional swims to look forward to from the Canadian side. I got to talk about Summer McIntosh. We have a busy lineup for her. Day number 2 will be the final of what we saw her swim today. Devin, I wanted to ask because to me it was visible that in that semifinal, even though it was only 20 minutes after her final of the 400 free, it was like she could take her first deep breath. Did she not look like she was a whole different swimmer in that 200 IM?
she was a completely different person. And even when she walked over here to do the interview, it was like, thank goodness that opening day is out of the way. She swam 1,200 meters on opening day with all this pressure, with all this expectation. That's behind her now.
Yeah.
This schedule the rest of the way, very favorable for McIntosh. So it's all in front of her. Listen, the drive for 5, Britt, is alive. She had to get that first one. She's done it. And I believe there's no looking back now here in Singapore.
No looking back. We cannot wait. Setting up for a really fast 2 a.m. final. With the way she looked, honestly, in that first 150 before shutting it down on the freestyle, I think she might contest for her own world record. She has the morning off. She's going to be able to relax. It's going to be early tomorrow morning for us Eastern. Of course, tomorrow night for you in Singapore. Also, Kylie Maas and Ingrid Wilm take the 100 back, so we'll get excited about that as well. Devin, we'll let you get some rest. It's been such a great start to these World Championships. Buckle up, as we always say, and let's get ready for night number 2.
Buckle up. Awesome.